Hey, Shalom Babakar. Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Kal halalim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the prophets of that body, and Shalom to the 144,000 and one third. May peace and blessings and the spirit of endurance be upon you and your households. Excuse me. All right. And, 2026 is going to be, with everything that's going on, when you see, it's like a salad. You got like a bit of this and a bit of that. So many different prophecies and so many different scriptures pop up in your mind of things that are going on. And obviously, regarding the financial side as well, when it comes to money, no honey. You don't have no money, you can't buy anything. People don't have a lot of disposable income to purchase anything, right? And which leads to what? The failure of other businesses. And it's going to be a snowball effect because one thing affects another, right? You know, action leading to reaction, or however the saying goes. All right, one thing leads to the next, like a domino effect, like a house of cards. You pull one card, everything collapses. And this is a time that we're approaching. All right, along with inflation, the money weakening. Okay, I mean the money doesn't have no value. Okay, and what they're offering, young grads or graduates from university, right? Or even if they have experience, they're offering entry level salaries. If you are so called lucky to get a job in the first place, but there's so many, and we know what the world would deem them as intelligent. I don't think so, but so many so called intelligent people or people that are educated, right, that can't find a job. All right. Now, I can even talk from experience because I remember, say, 3, 4 years ago, like even when you were working, you would get calls. You put your resume up on some kind of website, or you put you'd adjust your profile on LinkedIn or whatever to say that you're looking for work, and you'd get numerous calls because of your experience. You'd get at least a call, maybe 2 calls a day from some kind of recruitment agency, reputable organizations. Now that's not happening. So obviously, these recruiters, these recruitment agencies, and these recruitment firms, and these people that whether they work here or abroad won't have no jobs, because if people aren't recruiting, what's the point of having a recruitment agency? Because the recruitment agency works on behalf of the company and they get paid commission to get you a job. So they're not going to have no work. See how everything affects, one thing affects another, right? And then when you are working, let's just say you do an office job, right? Most jobs are either hybrid or remote, and then that affects what? Your local high street. High street meaning your local strip, your local cafes, your local restaurants, your local sort of uh, burger places, whatever, right? Your coffee shops. There's not a lot of foot traffic going there because people are working from home, or people don't want to spend that extra money. They're bringing their coffee with them in a thermos. All right. And I saw people doing that 25 years ago. People bringing their own tea or their own coffee in thermoses, and that would be stay warm the whole day. And you just have a cup here and there as you need a caffeine jolt, just to get you through the workday, right? And now we're at the point where the scales are going to tip in the direction that these heathens and Edomites and Jakes that want this war to continue. Okay, it's not going to go in their favor. It's going to go. It might be daunting for some people, but for the hopeful elect, this is brilliant, because at the end of the day, we want this MFA to fall. We do not want this kingdom to continue. We want the righteousness. We want Yahweh Shemashai's kingdom ASAP, Lord willing. So 2026 is going to be a crucial year. And on the other side of the Atlantic, Ground Zero Babylon, they're talking about, another government shutdown. All right. So, look what this is what's happening here in the UK. And this is from a British perspective, by the way, just to let you know. And so how much more worse in Ground Zero Babylon? Don't get it twisted, it's bad over here too. What you see, the bleakness, the grayness, homeless people, the love of many waxing cold, paraphrasing a scripture there, it's the same thing here too. Because America and the UK are brother and sister, all right? The only difference is that America's going to be blown off the map. All right, I'm going to play the video. This is from a page called The Royal Nation. Okay, I don't know which royal nation they're talking about. The only royal nation is under the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yoshai. That's us Israelites. All right, that's the real royal nation, not these. We know that the so-called royal family are fake, but I'm not going to touch on that. That's the thing with me. I start digressing, going all over the place. Then my anger kicks in, and I want to just, oh man, all right, damn devils. Nevertheless, let's play it. All right, copyright fair use. You know what? I know. As a matter of fact, let me just speed it up a little bit.
We're going to be officially offering you £18,000 as a salary with additional benefits and 12 days of available PTO.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say £18,000 a year?
Yeah, that is pretty standard for an entry-level job in this market. It's the midpoint of the range that we shared on the job description.
When I applied on Sprout, I didn't see a salary range listed there. Is there any possibility for any negotiation? 18,000 is so low.
There's not. This is a pretty generous offer for a new grad role. It's your decision. I'm going to need you to let me know by the end of the day, as we do have other candidates. I know that would take this in a heartbeat.
Okay, I'll let you know.
I have a first-class degree, a second-class degree from a very, very good university. I have experience in a good organisation as well. I guess that's not enough for me to get a job because I've applied for several in a span of like.
Okay, on 18,000, there's no way you can move out, get your own spot, right? Or even think of you starting a family if you're a young man.
A good organisation as well. I guess that's not enough for me to get a job because I've applied for several in a span of like 5 months, I would say, or even more, and nothing has happened. I have no clue when I'm going to get a job. I went to a careers fair, to a workshop, and there was a guy talking about, don't be disheartened because you might get a job, if not in 6 months, in a year's time. What I'm going to be doing in this year, sort of hanging about and hoping for the best. And I know it's not his fault, but it's like, how do you expect people to be okay with the fact that they have the qualifications, they have the experience, or some experience that should be, okay, if not enough already for you to get your next job. And you have to keep applying and trying to, survive with whatever money you have and whatever resources you might have, or rely on your family, which has been my case at the minute. And that's not okay. I'm sorry, that's not okay. But the worst thing is that I can't do anything to change that. I can't do anything about it. And there are so many people in the same position that I am, which is quite sad, actually.
Oh, absolutely. The job market right now is absolutely diabolical. There are companies out here that want you to go to university. They want you to spend years and years worth of your time slaving away, training to
What the hell's wrong with this now?
even be good enough to do any of these jobs. And let's not forget the amount of money it takes for you to invest in yourself in order for you to be at that skill level to even be considered for that job. It's insane. It's so much time, it's so much money, and there is no reward. There's no reward for any of it. I completely understand you have to work for what you want, but there's no reward. And don't even get me started on fucking entry level jobs, man. That's a piss take, because it's half the time it's not entry level, it's 2 years experience. Well, it's not entry level then, is it? Entry level is no experience. That's what entry level means. But now that goalpost has changed. And as somebody who is trying to get into the art field, let me tell you, the amount of money I need to spend, the amount of training I need to train, the amount of time I need to spend after work in order for me to have enough skill. But then when I do eventually apply for a job, it's going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to pay you like a piss wage. You mean to tell me all that work that I've been putting in it's not going to be worth it. And it's not even just the art fucking sector. It's so many different sectors of jobs.
How does it even get to this point in life where you feel like you're just in a constant vicious cycle and you can't get out of it? It's constant. It just goes and it turns and it turns and it never spits you out and lets you move forward. But then even when you get the little hope or little glimpse of happiness or moving forward, you fall straight back into the cycle. And that's it. It's just continuous. And no matter how much you try and drag yourself out or pull yourself out or try and do things that will move you out of that circle, it's straight back in. And I know it's not just me. I know there's plenty of people that are in the same situation, but I'm just like, find happiness and I throw happiness away.
What the hell's going on here now? So like careful that. Laughing at Esau's demise, Satan got upset. Let's see if it comes back up. It's always something, man. Sorry about this, man. What the hell's going on now?
I'm just like, find happiness and I throw happiness away. It's so hard. I can't even explain it. Like, I want to go to the gym, but I can't get myself up to go. I'm just sat in the car in the middle of nowhere, just looking at fucking birds. Do you know what I mean? It's so hard. I can't even find happiness straight back in, and I know it's not just me. I know there's plenty of people continuous. And no matter how much you try and drag yourself out, it's just constant. It just goes.
See, the curse is coming on Esau. Deuteronomy 30, verse 7, slowly but surely. Welcome to the world of, that's Jake been going through that. But you didn't see Jake sitting in his car crying. All right, Jake just dealt with it. But look at Esau. When you have everything handed to you, and then later on in life, things start not working out your way. You know? That's what Esau is, man. Big crybaby. Let's go.
And it turns and it turns and it never spits you out and lets you move forward. You're just in a constant vicious cycle. And you
Sectors of jobs.
how does it even get to this point in life where you feel like you're just in a constant vicious cycle and you can't get out of it, and it's just constant. It just goes and it turns and it turns and it never spits you out and lets you move forward. But then even when you get the little hope or little glimpse of happiness or moving forward, you fall straight back into the cycle. And that's it. It's just continuous. And no matter how much you try and drag yourself out or pull yourself out or try and do things that will move you out of that circle, it's straight back in. And I know it's not just me. I know there's plenty of people that are in the same situation, but I'm just like, find happiness and I throw happiness away. It's so hard. I can't even explain it. Like, I want to go to the gym, but I can't get myself up to go. I'm just sat in the car in the middle of nowhere, just looking at fucking birds. Do you know what I mean? This isn't the life I fucking want. I know what I want, sorry, but it just seems so fucking hard to get it. And then once you've got it, you can't fucking keep it. It's fucking awful.
kind of surprised more people don't know this, but I don't know how to tell you, but there's literally no jobs anywhere for anything. Most people will tell you things are bad for fields like law, engineering, literally minimum wage jobs as well. You can have a 4-year degree, but you're still going to get rejected from Aldi. I swear there's like a 4-stage interview process for every single job now. This economy, honesty literally isn't the answer to your problems anymore. You need to work and graft for that job. That's why I'm so happy we have things like Sprout now. Things are just very tough right now.
The UK job market has me crashing out differently. I spent 3 months applying to over 5,000 jobs. Still didn't get one. Where am I gonna get the experience that they're asking for? You're the experience. I guess I'm just gonna keep auto-applying on Sprout by swiping right like I'm on Tinder, bro.
The UK is dying and nobody's doing nothing about it. Listen, you've all heard about the number of people leaving the UK, especially millionaires and not even millionaires.
Now, okay, we see the curses coming on Esau. We see this world collapsing. Now, I believe I've seen all this video. I think I have all. One second. I mean, there could be other Jakes here, which I didn't recognize. Got got the heathen look, but from what I can tell, there's all heathens on here. All right, and this is only visible Jake, and he's not so distraught or stressed out. You can see he's sitting in some kind of nice office, probably in his basement or maybe his home office or maybe somewhere. It's got some placards in the back, I think, of records or whatever. So he's definitely doing something. What's his name? Mr. Jazz Rose. He's doing something. So he doesn't seem so distraught because you know what it is. The other nations can't handle pressure like Jacob been going through. All right, for generations, man. You saw that fat Edomite, right? Okay. Or what he looks to be an Edomite, but I believe he is the fat one that was crying in the car. Now you saw. He goes, when you get some happiness, you got like it's in your hand, and then you can't keep it. He goes, I see signs of hope, and then it doesn't happen. Just he didn't say in those words, but I'm just sort of like summarizing it all. Okay, you can check it out yourself, the Royal Nation. All right, check out the video. I'm not going to play all of it because it's like 17 minutes of different people giving their feedback on how things are going. I'm just going to go to the main ones. All right. No work in Egypt.
Millionaires anymore. Just everyday people are exiting the UK in massive numbers. But let me give you some stats to back it up. The UK's credit rating has gone down, which means that the government pays more interest on debt. Here's what it means for you. Higher interest rates, higher mortgages, less room for public spending. The falling birth rate has also been a massive problem because now it's showing more deaths than births in recent quarters, and this is showing a steady decline. That affects productivity, which is already low and half the rate of most advanced countries. Experts are saying that infrastructure that takes the UK 9 years to build takes other advanced countries 18 months. The average growth of the GDP since 2008 has been 1.3%. Compare that to previously, it was 3%, less than half. And everybody knows this is happening, but the real question is, what are you going to do about it? Because the government hasn't really recovered since 2008. So, time for change.
And Elder Malcolm talks about that as well. GMS Chicago subscribes to his channel also, and subscribe to all the elders and prophets of Great Millstone. Okay, they're the men of the Lord in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, the mouthpiece. Elder Malcolm talks about 2008 as well. How it's such a bad. When the financial infrastructure sort of wasn't so good, wasn't looking so glorious at that time. Okay. And how bad it was because he's a martial arts teacher, so he saw the change, okay, with his clientele and everything, and because he's got real life experience in these situations that he talks about, and so you get a sort of like a lot of information on how things are going on at the time, and this one, 2026 is going to be stronger. It's not going to get better, all right. There's no more optimism in Egypt. You can't listen. The only optimism is for Jacob, all right? The hopeful elect. We have optimism. We have happiness because we got Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. We got the name as well because, paraphrasing the scripture, okay? The elect shall praise the holy name of the Lord, man. I think that's in the book of, let's be sure. I don't want to quote it wrong. I think it's Ecclesiasticus. I'm just going to quickly find it on my phone. I don't want to faff around with a computer right now. 1 second, just type it in quickly. Because I don't want to quote it wrong. And yeah, Ecclesiasticus 17 and 10. And the elect shall praise his holy name. So the hopeful elect have the name. Okay, we know we can feel and taste the kingdom. We can feel, how the kingdom's going to be. Even though we can feel it, we can only feel it in this world that we're in, and things and trinkets we've seen heathens have. All right, and the Lord hates them, pursuant to 2 Ezra 6 verse 54. All right, how much more are we going to get the Lord? Because we're the Lord's children, especially the elect. All right. So, the things that we're going to get, the hopeful elect, whoever those chosen are out of the Israelites, it's going to be astronomical, man. All right. Whatever you lacked on this side, whatever you lost on this side, whatever it is, if you're 5'5" on this side, Lord's going to make you 10 feet tall in the kingdom, man. You're going to get it all back, man. All right. Listen, the elect, the hopeful elect are not in an upset mood. They're not upset or crying or boo-hooing. If they're upset or in any shape or form, it's a simple fact that it's because we're still here. But we understand that prophecies have to play out, and they are playing out. They're popping like popcorn, as our elders say, man. And once again, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and the prophets. Shalom to them. Let's go. Let's just play this last little segment of this young lady, and then we'll go to some scriptures and then leave it there, Lord willing. Let's go.
Spoken rule of 2025, if you want to get a job in the UK, stop applying on Indeed. Just stop.
Hey, what she's going to say, this is very
It's not worth
interesting.
it. You're wasting your time. I know it's easy, but that's why everyone does it, including the fact that Indeed is the single most used platform by people who claim benefits and universal credit in this country. If you didn't know, in order to claim universal credit, you have to prove that you are constantly looking for a job. Indeed is a really easy way to do that because you just click that easy apply button, just click, 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 keep applying, keep applying, keep applying. When you also apply through Indeed and you are genuinely interested in that job, your CV is hitting the bottom of a pile, yay high, of people who are unqualified and uninterested in that role. Just stop applying on Indeed. You're wasting your time. Apply direct through the company website or through your network, not Indeed.
In the workplace, the most brainwashed employees are those who say, I can't take a day off because...
All right. This guy just talks a lot of gibberish. Okay. Nevertheless, got some scriptures. Isaiah 19:15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Okay. Okay. Now we're in modern day Egypt, Babylon, or Rome all over again. A concept from a few of our captivities that we've been in. But the main one is Egypt. All right. Hence the reason why there's a pyramid on the dollar bill. There's obelisks in America as well as the UK. Okay. And they follow a similar format and structure from our previous captivities as well. All right. So this is Egypt all over again. Hence the reason why in Deuteronomy 28 verse 68 says that, we'll be led into captivity. I haven't read Deuteronomy 28:68 for a while because that was a staple scripture back in the day, which you heard, which made sense. Okay. Let me just find it and read it. I don't want to just paraphrase it I want to get to that point. Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Egypt again. Okay. Now, Hamite Egypt, the African one, right? It's on a landmass. You don't require to go into that area via ship. Okay, because then we walk into Egypt, initially it was 70 souls. And then we quadrupled and multiplied, right? We didn't catch a ship then. Now this is modern day Egypt. All right, Egypt again, again, again. We're in captivity again. But this is our final one. Okay? Hence the reason why there is a pyramid on the dollar bill. So Isaiah 19:15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. There's no work in Egypt no more. Okay? Now, back in the day, even my parents used to say the same thing, same thing. Get a degree, you'll have a good job, you'll have opportunities, you know. And that was more of an 80s thing. Okay? That was more of an 80s thing. Early 80s, mid 80s, you know. That was a time to go university, to get a good job. If you get a good grade or a good passing grade, your basic salary would depend on that. You get a job in a bank, you can work your way up. It was like a job for life type situation. People work for a bank and they'll stay there for 25, 30 years and retire. They'll get like a bonus as well before they retire, as well as their pension. Okay. That's how it used to be. All right. It's not like that anymore. People go to university. All right. And then they're just in debt. They're in debt. Okay. Especially in the UK as well. People, youngsters taking out loans after loans, student loans. You got to pay them back. All right. You got to pay them back. And how are you going to pay it back with no work? The only good thing about university as well, from a male perspective, is especially in my time when I went, was a mid to late 90s, was simply as a young man, there's a whole bunch of beautiful women from all parts of the world and different parts, well, all over the world, number one, as well as different parts of the country. So yes, for that era, for that aspect and partying, and especially in that time in the mid 90s to late 90s. Okay, those of you that were in your 20s back then, late teens and early 20s, you know how it was. It wasn't too, it's better than it is now, that's for sure. But it was hell back then too. But but from a male perspective, it's all about getting the ladies and partying. All right. So those days are gone, man. Okay. There's no more work, and if you do even if you are blessed to get a job, it's not going to pay enough. Okay, a lot more young, and that's going to affect what? The property market. Estate agents or property developers are not going to have work. Okay, so they're not going to have no jobs. They're not going to earn no commission. Okay, they might not be even on a basic salary. They're just living off commission because they do big ass deals, or they deal with millionaires that want to buy mansions and large luxurious apartments. Right? They're not going to sell them. So those areas are going to shut down. You see how one thing affects another, right? Students that are working in coffee shops, the influx of people coming in, say 8 o'clock in the morning or 7:30 in the morning to grab a coffee before they run into the office. Those days are gone. People are not going to buy that. They're not going to buy their croissant. They're not going to buy their Danish. They're not going to buy their donuts, whatever their sugar, whatever fix they need to get themselves going. All right? One thing affects another, man. All right? And even if you do get a job, is it going to pay you enough? A lot of youngsters are living at home. Okay? Now, I mean, for a lot of you Israelites out there, especially Israelite women that are in their somewhat of their right mind, okay? Somewhat in their right mind. One second, let me just get this scripture up. Where is it? Damn it. Okay, now for you young ladies out there that are, you Israelite women that are watching and learning from our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that are somewhat sincere, if you live at home and you get on with your family, or if you have an Israelite man or husband or whatever, stroke boyfriend, which they call he's still your husband if you're laying down with him. I suggest you stay together, stay with your family. All right. You might say to yourself, I don't have a big ass room. I don't have my place to meditate. Even if you've got a corner in that house and you can have a blanket and a pillow, somewhere warm to lie down at night, okay, from the elements outside, okay, I suggest you stay at home, okay, because those days of having your apartment and being a woman empowered and, working from home with your laptop and your earpieces in, and then during break time you're running on your treadmill and all that. Then in the evening you're going for a glass of wine with your girlfriends or whatever. Put you on your little slinky black dress. Those days are gone. Okay. Now, in certain areas of the world that's still going on, but collectively it's gone. All right. Haggai 1:6. And even if you do get a job, it's not going to pay enough because everything's freaking expensive. Haggai 1:6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Let me read that again. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Okay? The mirth, which means excessive laughter and happiness, is gone. Okay? Now what we're seeing is, before the Lord really shuts this shop of Esau down, or this store, right? The Lord is showing you everything that's going on before the Lord really, how shall I say, slams his hand on the table before it really gets really bad out here, to the point where you'll be peeking through the little gaps of your curtains and your blinds just to see what's going on outside, because a lot of people won't be even walking the streets. This is going to get bad like that, where you might have to walk in a group if you have to go somewhere, because people will be gripping up other people, grabbing women, grabbing people with valuables, But the elect are going to be covered with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai's wings. Okay? Let me just read one more scripture and then, let me get one more scripture, man. Because the Lord has set bounds that Esau cannot pass. And we're coming to that point where the Lord is going to just, shut shop, shut this store down. Because ultimately the Edomite Empire is basically a business. It's a large, it's a large business, and the Lord's going to just, America leading the way, of course, because that's it's a corporation. The Lord's going to shut that storefront completely. Okay. Yeah, that's the one. Pluck up that was planted. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Okay? So the Lord is plucking up that which was planted. Esau said he'll rebuild, and the Lord said he'll throw down. And the Lord is throwing down this place, paraphrasing another scripture. But the Lord is plucking up that which is planted. Okay? All right? Esau's kingdom is being plucked up. Let's go to verse 6 as well. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away. All right? The Lord is casting away his kingdom, man. Okay? Because our punishment is, it's up. Well, it's almost up. Okay? When Yahushua returns and the elect are beamed up into the chariots, okay? Once you're being lifted up in the air, then that's that. You don't ever have to get up early hours again in the morning to go to work. You don't have to be pissed off that you have to deal with whatever you got to deal with work-wise on that day. You know, you don't have to deal with aches and pains in the body. You don't have to be, be in a situation where you cry sometimes because you miss your house shy so much, because you know in your past lives, or when the Lord was on the planet, when he was walking the earth first time round as Yahweh Shai, we were there with him, man. And there's a close kinship you feel, and you've always felt homesick. All these feelings are gonna be gone, man, because we're gonna be with the Lord, isn't it? Right? And once the Lord returns, that's it. We don't have to ever, 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 ever be under a heathen rulership ever again. This is it. All right? No more job interviews, no more applications, no more piss in SHIT streets smelling like that. Okay? No more seeing these devils and heathens on the loose. All right? I can go on and on and on about all the positives that are going to happen, man, when the Lord returns for the elect. Okay? So we're coming into some beautiful times. Okay? Now, if you're an Israelite in the truth, you shouldn't be stressed out about this. Okay? Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai will provide and take care of everything. All right? You shouldn't be stressed out about this, because we want to go home. And in order to go home, these things have to happen. All right? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there now. So there's no more work in Egypt. All praises, honor, glory, blessings, and power be unto Abanoah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, Mawatha Bad Babal, Kwam Yashrala, Shalom.